when we first met, you did have a lot of gaps in your books and it was just a bit inconsistent. You weren't seeing results, and now, fast forward, you're fully booked. What that feels like for you as a salon owner?
You don't realize how much you're missing out in your business. The greatest thing about what you guys do is that you bring people in our door.
What was the turning point when you realized something had to change and you had to dive in and work with us?
I did a course with L'Oreal and I met you on that course, and then you were giving away this amazing hour.
What was that horrendous experience that you had with that other agency?
Results just never come. There would be nothing.
Welcome to Diary of the Search Queen, the go-to podcast for salon owners ready to ditch the algorithm and get found by their dream clients on Google. I'm Sonja Raymond, aka Sonja the Search Queen, founder of The Search Republic, and after helping salons generate millions in client bookings, I'm here to show you how to create a reliable, low-stress lead flow without living on your phone. Ready to stop chasing and start filling chairs with ease? Let's go. So today I'm joined by one of my incredibly amazing, wonderful clients, Rosemary from Dior Hairstylists in Arrowtown in New Zealand. And Rosemary, you have had incredible success with working with us. So when we first met, you did have a lot of gaps in your books and it was just a bit inconsistent. You weren't seeing results, and now, fast forward, you're fully booked and your stylists are all fully booked as well. And that is all to do with the work that we've been doing. So take us through exactly what that feels like for you as a salon owner.
Now it's pretty exciting. I think that's the biggest thing about having your books full all the time. We are lucky enough to have that. I've actually just employed a new staff member as well. And I actually reached out to you guys and I said, I've got a new staff member starting. Do you think we should try to push her a little bit more? And you replied back to me and said, no, this is great. We'll just keep going what we're going. And honestly, even now she says to me, she can't believe that she's fully booked all the time. She's only been with us now for 2.5 months and she's fully booked every day. It is unbelievable. I am interviewing another person this tomorrow, and she is moving back to New Zealand in the beginning of the next year, and I'm looking at employing her as well. So you don't realize how much you're missing out in your business. The greatest thing about what you guys do is that you bring people in our door, and years ago, that was word of mouth. That was, dropping off flyers and letterboxes. That was, I've been in this industry for a very long time, and now we don't need to do things like that. The world isn't like that anymore. So that's what you do, and you bring those people in our door, and our role is to make sure that we look after them while they're in there, and that we keep them coming back, and we do a lot of that as well. So really concentrating on what comes in the front door, but also really concentrating on what goes out the back door, and that's really important to us.
And can I ask you, since working with us, what has the quality of the clients been like since that have been coming through your doors? Are they high quality? Are they what kind of quality are they?
Yeah, that's a great question. Quality is really important to us, and we brand ourselves to be a luxury experience. So for us, that is one thing that we definitely do. We don't discount, we don't do anything like that. High quality and high quality clients are definitely attracted to us. And that's great for us because there's other things that come with those high quality clients. Our treatment growth is incredible. Our home care sales have increased massively. So it's layers on layers on layers, really.
And I couldn't think of anyone more deserving than you, because you're the biggest legend to work with. We love working with you.
Thank you.
And you deserve all your success. I'm so glad that we are part of your success journey. So that's really, really important. And I love hearing these results. My love, tell me what life has been like on a personal note since we started doing this work together. And obviously you went from having inconsistent results and not being fully booked to now being fully booked. What ripple effect does that have on your personal life?
Obviously financially. So we can give better rewards back to our team as well. We can be a lot more social with our team. I can employ more staff. We can give back, which is amazing. Give back to our community by donating things. So and it's given me a better lifestyle. For the first time in 6 years, I actually had a holiday this year, and I actually went to meet you in Western Australia. So it's been a long time. So those sort of things, and now I've planned my holiday again for the next year. So it's given me, and it's also given me the confidence that I can actually leave my salon and know that it's going to be busy, it's going to be full. I don't have to be there in it all any time. It's given me that real mental shift, which is amazing. It's great.
Oh, my love, I actually got teary when you said that, because that just really got me in the heart. And
Yeah.
I love hearing that story. I like, that means an awful lot to hear that, because I'm like, the fact that, as a business owner, there's never an off button. So the fact you're able to take your first holiday in 6 years, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty cool.
pretty
Yeah.
amazing. And tell us, what was the turning point when you realized something had to change and you had to dive in and work with us? What was that turning point for you?
I had dabbled with another company doing a similar component, and I always knew, like, I always concentrated on KPIs within my business. So we had good KPIs, but there was like always, that floating 20% that you're always looking for. And so I worked with another company to do this, and I wasn't getting results. I couldn't see it. Like, there was nothing really happening. The phone wasn't ringing. The online booking wasn't working. Like, it was bizarre. And so I stuck with them. And then obviously I did a course with L'Oreal and through their program. And I met you on that course. And then you were giving away this amazing like hour. And I sat down with you. And the thing that I really loved about what you gave to me was that you actually said to me, go back to the company that you have got and ask them these questions and see if they can get to these results for you first before I flipped. Do you know what I mean? And I valued that, because that was your truth self. And like, you could have just said to me, just come this way now and we'll do this, blah, blah, blah. But you didn't. You were really honest with me, and I really valued that. And so I did go back to this company and I sat down with them and I said, look, we want to try this, this, and this, and this. And I'm going to give you 3 months to do this. And anyway, nothing happened. And so then it was straight away, I was like, right, that's it. And I messaged you and jumped in. It was amazing. I haven't looked back, so it's been great. Yeah.
I love hearing that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the reality. There is just so many other agencies out there that don't do the right thing. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you've
Yeah.
had a very positive experience in working with us. That is truly
Yes.
incredible to hear. And tell me, what is the noticeable shift that you've found with your team since working with us? Like, what ripple effect has it had on the rest of the team? Because you have an amazing culture.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. I think for them too, it is more self-belief in themselves. Like, they value themselves, that they can service luxury clients. That's really important for them as well. Like, we do a lot of education around, upskilling our stylists. So when they have that upskill and they have clients that believe in them and they have that consistency going, they also are on bonus structure systems, they're earning more money, all those sort of things, and that makes them feel good, and then they enjoy being part of a successful team. So we're all together. We're not just, all at one end. So we all do it together. So that's been great for them as well.
And how big is your team now? Because when you first came to me, you didn't have as many people. So how many was it when you first came to me? I believe it was a lot less, wasn't it? So
Yeah, it was. So when I first started with you, I think we had 6, and now we've increased to next week I will have 12. I
you've
know,
doubled your
that's
team.
amazing.
You have
Yeah,
doubled your team
yeah.
in 18 months.
In months. Yeah,
Yeah, 18 months. That's insane.
I
Yeah.
know, it is insane. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, that just goes to show, like, people want your hairstylists, and you have, but again, it's just serving the demand really, with having your Google presence being so active and being everywhere, dominating the search result, and couldn't think of anyone more deserving than you and your team, because you're
Thank
amazing.
you.
If any salon owner was on the fence, like, can you give us some advice for salon owners that like have been stalking me for a while and haven't jumped in? They're like, yeah, know this like Irish Sonja chick. I think she might be in Ireland, but maybe she might be in Australia. Who knows? Any advice for salon owners sitting on the fence? Like, as in, what advice would you give to your previous self that didn't know me?
That's a
Or
good
the
one too.
team?
Honestly, just jump. Like, honestly, climb to the highest mountain and just jump off it, because you will glide them to the bottom, and then you'll glide them straight back up again. It is, honestly, I know, like, for a start off, especially when people have to realize of how much they have to, like, money wise, because it's all about money at the end of the day and being able to afford it. But you will get that money back tenfold. So much more comes with it. It's the initial thing and getting it all set up and making sure that your website's right, and all those sort of things. But when you tick all those boxes, the reward is bigger than sitting on a fence or what if, or I know I have had Dior since 2002, and I've been through highs and lows and with my business and stuff like that. And But like, you've got to move forward. You've got to move with the times. You just got to jump. Just jump. What's the worst thing that can happen? Nothing with you. I've been there. I've been on the worst and had a company that, it didn't work, and I was still paying out exactly the same amount of money. And now I get my results back, and yeah, it's incredible. It's great. Yeah. It's
And
really good.
sometimes people do have to have a few knocks before they find the diamond in the rough, so I love that for you. And there's no guarantees when it comes to Google, but one thing what we're seeing is this noticeable trend that all our salons are getting like this incredible result on Google. The cost per clicks are so low because all of our salons are spending all their time on Meta, dancing on Reels and doing all those things, which is great to do those things. They play a piece, they play a part. Welcome to Diary of the Search Queen, the go-to podcast for salon owners ready to ditch the algorithm and get found by their dream clients on Google. I'm Sonja Patutsky-Raymond, aka Sonja the Search Queen, founder of the Search Republic, and after helping salons generate millions in client bookings, I'm here to show you how to create a reliable, low-stress lead flow without living on your phone. Ready to stop chasing and start filling chairs with ease? Let's go. So what kind of results have you seen since implementing the salon scaling system? As in, like, what kind of changed? I know obviously you have more bookings coming through the doors, but what has actually changed in terms of every aspect in the salon? Because I obviously don't see the other side.
I mean, obviously, your daily total has changed. Your till has changed immensely, which is fantastic. Those sort of things are probably the key focus that's really changed. The type of client that comes in too is completely like, we've got a lot of younger market, which is interesting because I always concentrate on local people because we live in a very tourist area, and I don't tap into tourists at all. It's never been my jam. But we also live in an older community. Our town is a community it's quite expensive to live locally in our town. So we don't have a lot of young families, but we are attracting a lot of a younger clientele, and a younger clientele do like luxury. They might not come, every 6 weeks, but they definitely come every 10 to 12. And that's something that we've been really concentrating on because a lot of them were balayage clients and they were coming in like every sort of 18 weeks, but now we've pulled them back into 10 for those services and things like that. But that's because, we're a presence. We are out there. They live off a phone. They live off Google. That's all they do. So, to be active on there and have our socials in there and have you guys promoting that on our behalf and advertising it, they're coming in a lot more, which is fantastic for us. So yeah. So our retention rate the gap was getting more, but now our retention rate is less.
I love that because that's it.
Yeah.
And that's a true success formula, is holding on to the clients that you actually have and then building on compounding with more new clients coming through the doors. And I think that is something that it's really, really important to drive that in salon as well, to see the growth, because otherwise you're just replacing what you've lost, so it's the rebooking rate. So what's your rebooking rate like at the moment with all the stylists?
Our rebooking rate, and we did this morning actually in our team meeting, so our rebooking rate is at 85%.
Well, that's incredible.
Yeah, for our whole team, which is great. So it is incredible, but it's something that we really focus on. Like, if a client we follow our retention every week. So if a client hasn't rebooked with us, we follow up with them not the next week, but the following week. So week 2, we follow up with them and we just say, we happy with your service? How was that experience for you? And we pick up, if there was 10 people that didn't rebook, we can actually pick up 2. That's incredible. That's 2 people that we didn't get at that moment, but they've had that time and gone yes, or the girls have planted a seed about something else that they could have done, and we'll put that note down in their notes. It's really concentrating after that back door. You invest, we invest in you guys to bring them in, and we're investing in a team to look after them and bring them back in again.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then what was your hardest moment in your salon owner journey?
Staff is the hardest moment. Trying to attract staff, attracting staff has been one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I've had times where it's been really hard, but I tell you what, the last few times that I've been advertising to staff, and I have grown my staff, in the last 18 months, it has been the easiest I've ever had it. And a lot of it is because I think we're out there more, our name is out there more. And that's thanks to you guys. Our socials, we have lots of fun on our socials. And when I interview people, I have 15 people just to apply for apprentices. And I live in a really, I know, exactly, 15 people. I had a receptionist that I just advertised. I had 84 people apply for a receptionist
Wow.
role. And that just does not happen. Like last time I employed a receptionist 3 years ago, Deb's is moving away, but now and I honestly, I didn't get anybody. So, I really struggled to find somebody. So that has helped me. But I believe it's because we're out there, we're on Google, we're out there, people see us.
And
It's different.
your passion is absolutely contagious as well. Like, I love the passion of your hairstylists. It's unbelievable. It really is. And would it be fair to say then that you have doubled your business since working with us financially?
Yes, very much so. Yeah,
Doubled
very
your
much so.
business since working with the Search Republic. Well,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
you are the biggest legend anyway, and you deserve the world. You really, really do. Because doubling your business in 18 months, that's pretty an epic goal to have kicked.
It is a pretty
Are
cool.
you
Yeah,
proud of
it's a
yourself as
good.
well? Because obviously we get you the
Yeah,
lead, but it's up to you guys to convert them too into bookings, the ones that
yes,
have
true.
the questions as well. Your internal system, walk us through what happens when somebody inquires and say, yeah, I just want to book in for my service. Like what happens internally from front of house to getting them booked?
Okay, so once they communicate with us and get them booked, we actually send them out a discovery form. So we have a discovery form that we send them out to, and it has lots of questions on it, like, do they use professional products? If they don't use professional products, what products do they use? Like lots of questions like that, just really simple, basic things, have they had any concerns about anything? So that goes out to them first, and then they will, and then we get that back. And so we've got time to be able to look at that before they arrive. So we can tweak on anything or ask them any questions that we know beforehand. And then they arrive with their experience into the salon, and we do full consultations. So we sit down, go through those discovery forms with our clients, make sure that we're all on the same page. They'll have all their service done. We concentrate on giving 100% of our women clients will have treatments. So wouldn't go out without having a treatment and an experience in our basin area, and that's really important to us. So there's lots of little luxury steps that go along. There's a lot of back end stuff as well, so we don't get interrupted as stylists as well. So we have dockets that we fill in out the back when we mix up our colours. We've started using Vish, which is another incredible thing to get involved with. It's another whole world. And so we do all those sort of things. Yeah.
What's fish?
Vish is a colour weighing system. So so if we need more colour, so our junior might walk past us and look in the bowl, and we can just nod our head and they can automatically go out there and mix the colour. We don't even have to speak. Our conversation can still keep going with our clients. So those eliminating those processes of you stopping and starting is really important for us. We don't like our juniors interrupting our stylists. So, and if we start with a new client on our dockets out the back, it's like running a restaurant. If we want our foils to be checked, we will check them. If we don't, we mark a button and we circle it saying, no, we don't need them checked. Do we need this? Everything's written down. So when a buzzer goes off, our junior can automatically go to that client of ours and then take them straight to the basin. They'll know what their toner is. They don't even have to communicate with us. And I think that keeps us flowing as stylists as well. The docket's taken to the reception after we've had the client back in our chair, and then everything's loaded up. Their home care's written on that of what's needed. It's all bagged up, ready for them to go. And then we pass it on. The rebooking's done all through those there. And then we'll have them rebooked and then they leave. If they don't rebook at that time, we will follow up with them, like I said, like within the second week of them coming in. So then we're always following that through. So so there's lots of engines going around, but we try to make that experience as seamless as possible. And I mean, like these days that doesn't happen, but we're all human. We're not yet. And but that's basically what we try to keep flowing through all the time.
And that's fabulous because honestly, the ones that really do well with our services are the ones that have a very well-oiled machine internally with their systems, and it's a matter of, can you keep up with the load? And I love how you can structure that around, because again, you don't want to see your stylist washing people's hair, you know what I mean, when their goal is like to really their craft, which is the styling, you know what I mean? So that's awesome. And again, do you have any other days, any gaps in your books where you have stylists standing around looking for something to do?
No. Honestly, we don't. I mean, like they would love to, but then when they're quiet, they're not. We block time out to spend time together. So, we have to go through that. Like, now the girls are blocking out time for next year for us to do our training bits and pieces and our social media hours and all those sort of things and stuff like that. Because we just don't have that. It's not a thing for us. just doesn't happen. Yeah.
Amazing.
No backroom chat. The backroom chat is just us laughing because, that's great.
Oh, that's amazing to hear. And tell us, what's the future vision for Dior Hairstylists? Like, what is your big grand vision?
The hardest thing for me is to actually get myself off the floor because I love it so much. But I also have two gorgeous grandchildren that I'd like to spend more time with. So for me to employ another stylist will just get me back off that floor. So I'll be able to do 9 till 3. That would be really nice, and work on it rather than in it. That's my major goal. That's what will happen for me next year, which will be awesome. So yeah. But I did say to my husband last night that maybe we could try to find a bigger space. And
I asked you this when you were here in person. You're like, no, that's me
I
done. That's me done. I'm done, Sonja. And I'm like, are you sure? And I love how we planted that seed, and now here we are looking at a bigger space after doubling your business. Well, what's the point? Like, why stop now?
I know, that's exactly right. And it's sort of like, and I always thought that, for me, I turned 55 yesterday. I always thought that, I won't be on that floor and doing that stuff, but I really love it. But I can still have a hairdressing salon, and I can still have a beautiful business, and I can have an amazing team that can, and we can all work all together and still, I don't have to leave. There's no number. I can still do that. So maybe bigger is the next space.
I think
maybe
it is the
watch
way
the
to go,
space
for sure. Because I'm like, don't stop. Everybody wants you. And then for anyone who's listening to the podcast that's in your area and that's interested in what it is that you do you want to just tell the listeners a bit about your salon and what makes you different?
Well, actually, I created Dior, and I created her as a person. So for Dior, she is a person to all of us that work within her. So she's sophisticated, she's elegant, and she listens and she understands. I think that's the most important thing. And she's a safe space to come to. That's who she is. And I think that's what makes us different. It's that we are here. We are a family. We're multicultural. That's the big thing about living in our area. It's pretty huge that. And we open our doors to everybody. So we have clients that, are in their 90s, and we have children that are, I cut a little boy's hair the other day and he's only 3 weeks old. And so but 3 weeks old, but he has the most amazing hair. Like, he's got lots of hair. And so, so if you want to see it, it's on my socials. He's pretty cute. So so we open it to everybody. And I think that's really important. It's about being a community. I really value that. And we're lucky that we do live in a special place. So it's all of us, we're one. It's important.
I love that, because we are all one. We are all one big collective. We are all one community. So I love that you've touched on that. Rosemary, it's an absolute pleasure to walk alongside you on your business journey and help you with your continued success. It's honestly such an honor and such a privilege to work with you. And I'm so glad our paths crossed and that L'Oreal brought us together, because you are truly a one of a kind and you're such a lady. And I'm very grateful for your business over the years. So thank you so much for being on the podcast today. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate everything that you have put your trust and faith in us, because I know you had a pretty horrible experience at the start. So yes, do you want to actually just touch on what that experience was like? What was that horrendous experience that you had with that other agency? I'd love for the listeners to know a small bit about that.
So with the other agency and things like that, and I mean, the people were lovely, everyone's lovely, but it just results just never come. So there would be nothing. Honestly, it's hard to explain because there was just nothing. I think for a start off, I did radio advertising with them, and that was where it sort of all stemmed from. So, and years ago, that's what you did, and we did radio advertising, and then they started getting into modernizing themselves and getting into Google and things like that. And so that's when I sort of transformed with them as well, because I was really fascinated by that and wanted to sort of tap into that world. And they just did not have the skill set with that. And I think that's the most important thing too to remember, is that, people are good at stuff, and stay in your lane and be, search for the people that do what they do, That's why people do what they do, We don't go and, as hairstylists, we don't go and, work over here and, work in a retail store, do we? We actually do beautiful hair. So stay in your lane and focus on your lane and get other people and bring people in to help you grow your business, You can't do it all yourself. You've got to have people to help you. You just don't have enough.
Completely agree. That is a lovely way to finish it up, my love. And thank you so much for being here today. You really are just such a legend. And thank you for your time.
Thank you.
If today's episode spoke to your salon soul, then hit subscribe so you don't miss the next round of strategy and support. For more help filling your books without the burnout, then check the show notes and you'll find a link to the Search Republic, where we build simple Google strategies that actually work. And if we're not already connected, come and say hi to me on the gram at Sonja the Search Queen, and I'd love to hear what landed for you today.